In the heart of an ancient Akan village, where the sun bathed the red earth in golden light, stood a mighty baobab tree, old as time itself. Its thick, gnarled roots twisted into the earth like the fingers of an elder gripping a walking staff. The villagers called it Nana, believing it held the memories of their ancestors. For generations, the tree had been a silent guardian, its bark etched with adinkaresa symbols of wisdom and protection. But as years passed, fewer and fewer people came to sit beneath its shade, and the stories it carried began to fade, until one boy, Badu, stumbled upon its secret. Badu was not like the other children in the village. He was a dreamer, a seeker of forgotten things. Ever since he lost his parents, he had spent his days wandering, listening to the wind and tracing his fingers over the ancient carvings on the baobab's bark. One evening, as the sky turned the color of burning embers, he rested his head against the tree and whispered, "I wish I knew the stories of the past." To his shock, a deep, rumbling voice echoed from within the tree. "Then listen well, child, for I remember them all." Badu jumped back, eyes wide. The baobab had spoken. Nana told Badu stories of warriors and kings, of wise queens and cunning tricksters, of the Akan people's journey across vast lands. Each night, Badu returned, and each night the baobab shared another tale. He learned of the power of the golden stool, the wisdom of Ananse, and the courage of those who came before him. As Badu listened, something strange happened. The tree's leaves, once dry and brittle, began to bloom again, and fireflies danced in the branches like twinkling stars. But not everyone saw the baobab as a treasure. In the chief's palace, Opanin, the chief's ambitious advisor, saw only an obstacle to wealth. The land where Nana stood was rumored to hide gold beneath its roots, and he wanted it for himself. "The boy speaks to an old tree," he sneered. "Foolishness. We should cut it down and dig for what lies beneath." That night, Opanin gathered his men, their axes gleaming in the moonlight. Badu, overhearing the plan, ran to the village square. Breathless, he pleaded with the elders. "You must stop them. The baobab holds the stories of our ancestors." But the elders hesitated. They feared the chief's wrath. Realizing no one would stand with him, Badu ran to Nana and wrapped his arms around its trunk. "I won't let them take you," he cried. The wind howled. The ground trembled, and then the baobab spoke again, but not just to Badu. "You who forget your past will have no future." The sky darkened, and from the tree's roots, ghostly figures emerged, the spirits of ancestors past. They stood tall, their eyes filled with sorrow and wisdom. The villagers gasped. The elders, now understanding, rushed to stop the men with axes. Opanin, trembling, dropped his blade. The spirits turned to him, and though they said nothing, he felt the weight of his greed. He fled, never to be seen again. From that day on, the baobab was never ignored. Badu, once an orphan with only questions, became the village storyteller, the one who kept history alive. And beneath the great tree, where the whispers of the past still rustled through its leaves, the Akan people once again gathered, to listen, to learn, and to remember.